And we are live. Mr. Gracie is out there somewhere, but not here today. Show 141. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to start off right. We got Mr. Matt Mason coming on. Going to be a fun show. So get ready for that. And in the meantime, don't forget about our lovely intro. Yeah. Yeah, today's schedule's got fucked up, so that's why Mr. Gracie's not here. We could all blame me. They got the kind of spark you want to know. I will tell you that. Dropping thoughts like stars, watch them flow. The gracious do, oh yeah, it's true. And if the sound is off, audience, I apologize. I'm not much either, so bear with all the shenanigans. It's what you do. Head up. Ready for my fade? They talk the talk. Hey, I faded. What's up? Good show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get right to our next guest, or only guest today. Mr. Matt Mason from Fear Frontier. It's a cool little YouTube page. What's going on, Matt?
Not much, and I happen to be the only guest that you need today.
That anyway. Is true. Excited to have you on, man, and a little scared because you're coming to us from, I believe, a haunted brothel or something.
Absolutely true. A haunted brothel from a town that existed in the 1890s. All the way out here in Apache Junction, Arizona, right at the foot of the Superstition Mountains, in fact.
Wow. What is
a lot of bad stuff happens out here.
I'm sure. What have you what is the oldest ghost you've run into, or do you not know ages?
Oh, oldest would be hard to say. Rumor has it there are literally thousands of spirits that have accumulated here for centuries, going all the way back to like Native American lore. So technically, some spirits we come across, they could, I mean, Chief Geronimo could be out here for all we know. He was out here at one point, so Yavapai, they're all Apaches, Navajo.
Have you witnessed any scalpings out in those parts? Because I'm hearing Apache and all that stuff. I'm thinking Indian burial grounds and all that jazz.
I heard the word Indian burial ground. Some technical difficulties, playful spooks have interrupted our Disney experience here. So,
yeah,
can you ask that one more time?
So, I'll explain it to the audience. So he is in like basically a haunted area that is being occupied by beings as we speak, and that's what's causing some like whatever electrical magnetic pulses or whatever. So bear with any doohads, but we'll make it work. Let me ask you this: what's the scariest experience like you've had with like the paranormal?
It's interesting because when it comes to scariest, so much of it for me as somebody that's out here all the time, it can oddly blend together more than you might think. When paranormal experiences happen here pretty much daily. But I would say one of the most frightening and the one that sort of convinced me something was absolutely wrong with the building I'm in happened right behind where I am right now. Right behind where I am, the original manor of this building had a disembodied voice call her name twice, and then she wound up with scratches across her chest and her back, happened in front of me and about 5 other people right in this room, literally right behind where I am now.
So that freaks me out even more because I wasn't aware that the dead could like come along and like actually physically harm the living. So that takes my scaredness.
Apparently here they can. I actually
so different realms. Like
I can show pictures.
Please.
I actually have photos of scratches that have happened literally in the room I am in.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
So you meant like show them at a different time. I thought you meant like you were gonna pull them out. I'm sorry.
I can't. They're on an iPad like 2 feet from me if you want to see them. I can show
Well,
them.
let's work our way there. We'll keep it going because you got me a little scared now. So, do you think that there's so the other side, do they have more powers like in certain parts of the world like than they like so in other words, if you're in a church, are you safe? And if you're like across the street in a house, like not safe, are there places where they have more powers and less power?
I'd say it depends on the house and it depends on the church. Not all churches are equally holy. I would say it all depends
True.
on what you're dealing with in our experience. See, now, I do think certain parts of the world, certain locations would be worse than others. Here in the town of Goldfield, where this brothel is located, we're right at the foot of the Superstition Mountains, which I think is one of the most cursed places on earth. People have been disappearing out here for years upon years. Some of them very famous. The legend of the Lost Dutchman is out here. There seems to be something out here that has a lot of power over the desert. And people might say, oh, that sounds like superstition, which is actually where the name comes from. But there's evidence upon evidence that so much of it actually might be true, or at least have some merit to it for certain. Oh,
So
yeah.
why are you not like scared of messing around in environments like that? Like that seems like
Um,
kind of heavy.
it is. In fact, a couple of different reasons. I got involved into the whole thing simply because I grew up loving horror movies and scary things, and I always liked scary imagery. Always drawn to spookier side of things, including history. History is always better when it's strange, when there's a little bit of a mystique to it, unsolved type of thing to it. But you get used to it. But also, I could be utterly insane. That is one theory. But the fact that you just
Yeah.
get used to it. The first time you see something, you stay up that night saying to yourself, "There's no way that just happens." But then you see it again and again and again. The next thing you know, you're like, "We're in their house, and I'm just gonna accept what happens." In fact, while this is recording live, something could happen in here. I've been in
Wow.
here alone. Things knock. If you see something behind me, let me know. I'll even investigate what it is. Um, it happens in here. And I guess the bottom line is you get used to it. I guess the short answer. Takes a certain
So
kind
you
of
just get
person to
used to
know.
those you just kind of get used to those feelings of being like on edge and nervous and stuff.
You do. It sounds strange. In fact, I've said before that everybody always has one ghost, one weird event, one night they remember that they love to tell every party they go to. The uncle at the Christmas party, "Oh, I saw a ghost once," and has that story. For me and my
I got
crew,
two.
we say, "Well, that was our Tuesday." So
Oh my god. I'm not joking. So I literally have 2, and they were both when I was younger, but they're so real in my brain that it's the only reason why I'm still, like, this interested in the subject, like, at this late, of stage of my life because I haven't seen it probably since I was 7, and then the first one, I was, like, 1.5. So, again, those are very early memories, and the 1.5-year-old one is just as vivid in my mind as the 7-year-old one because it was so fucking scary that it's just permanently etched in. So I'm a firm believer, and then that's what freaks me out is that you say they can cross over into living world and fucking, mess with the physical world. It freaks me out.
it seemed to be, especially here. And it's interesting, 1.5, 7 years old. A lot of people theorize that children have the ability to see things like this more. Different reasons upon this theory, but one of them just being you're technically closer to death than you are the rest of your life, having just been born. So you
Right.
sort of lose this. Most people sort of lose this as you get older. So when you say you have two stories that you vividly remember, one, it's interesting that you had them in single digit years. And secondly, being 1.5 years old, it's still something you remember, making it real, very real. Not like nightmare you woke up screaming from, but something that is etched in your memory because it actually happened to you. Um,
Well, kind
Evidence
of
that
funny
this
you
stuff
mentioned the
can be real.
yeah. And kind of funny you mentioned the nightmare thing too, because I've spoken about this before on the show. I had a recurring nightmare for like a month or two straight as a kid that it was so fucking freaky that I was scared to go to bed. And it was the same dream every night. It was a house that was like ran parallel to mine across the street that was haunted. And for some reason, I got like lured in or whatever. And it was like just demons all around me. And that nightmare scared the shit out of me as a kid to where, like I said, I was literally for about a month scared to go to bed. I'm like, I don't want to fall asleep because I'm going to fall into this dream realm and
You want to back
be
to the house,
in,
right?
hell, basically, or a nightmare.
Now, was the house in the dream based on a real house, or was it invented in the dream?
100% real house. And the
Right.
funny part, well, not funny, but just the part that stands out is the people of the house were Jehovah's Witnesses. And again, that's just a fact that stands out because they came door to door. So I knew that from that. And they were, I was a kid just around the block doing stuff. So I knew that. But again, I'm not saying that's why I had bad connotations toward it, but it was just a part of they were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Did you ever go in that house in real life?
One time before I had the dream, because after the dream, you couldn't have paid me to go in that house.
Oh, that's
And it was
interesting.
so they were again neighbors. I was in their house one time, and the interactions with them were all good. There was nothing that would make me like, or that I would think subconsciously give me these thoughts. Like they just
Mhm.
came kind of,
Interesting. Dreams are, in fact, dreams and specifically nightmares are also one of my favorite things. It sounds strange, but I used to learn, like when I was young, if I went on a date with someone, one of the first questions I was going to ask is, what are you afraid of, and what's your worst nightmare that you've ever had? And you can learn a lot about the person by asking these questions. You can also end a date very fast, so it can go either way.
yeah,
But I'm always fascinated by it, and I didn't even have to ask you. You just started telling me, which is actually pretty fascinating. And that's cool. That's
oh
actually a really
yeah.
cool, interesting dream. Reoccurring nightmares are really interesting. Um, was it always like the dream came nights in a row, or was it separated? Like you could go a month or 2 months and then have it again? How did that work?
It would no, 'cause so it was like maybe like a month, month and a half worth of them, like worth of the dreams. And out of that month, month and a half, maybe 5 nights I didn't have the dream. So it was happening so like rapidly and like, all the time that I was like literally after a week of it scared to go to bed. And I would I mean, and it was at the time I had to go to bed at like 8 o'clock, TV off at 9, like you had rules and stuff like that. So when that dark hit, I was like, no fucking way. Do not, I would try everything to stay awake. And then eventually I would fall asleep and then I'd fall right into the dream. And it was so fucking real, so freaky. And even after I would wake up out of it, I would be like, it felt so real. Like, I didn't want to go near the house in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like I would stay on the other side of the street from it. And again, I know it's all bullshit, but something made me have those feelings. Something gave me those thoughts, and it did it for a very long, extended period. That it still sits with me today. And again, with the two other ghost experiences, it seems like Bobby says poltergeist. I don't know what that means, but I thought it was like poltergeist, like throws stuff in the room, stuff like that. I've never seen
It
anything like
can.
that. Yeah, but
Right,
yeah,
and
it
that's
just
a
it
lot
freaked me out.
more rare. The thing about poltergeist, things like that, that's one of the reasons a lot of people will choose not to believe the location is haunted, because they don't see something get thrown across the room. But haunted can mean a lot of different things. In some ways, that house haunts you. That's a form of haunting.
Yeah,
But also, like where I'm at, I've never seen a chair get thrown across the room in here, but I've had things knock in empty rooms. We've heard voices, footsteps. You see shadow figures. You sense things that shouldn't be there, like perfume, cigar smoke, gunpowder, things like that. And we've heard voices. Things respond. as we ask. Ghost equipment going off. We've collected a lot of evidence. Sometimes people see things I don't. Somebody will swear they're looking right at something. I don't see it, but it scares them right out the door. And it's so vivid. And I can see like them sweating, their hands trembling. Something's happening to them. That actually
Right.
happens in here frequently. So you never know. It could be different things to
Well,
different
you
people.
kind of
You never know.
right, and you kind of said something that made sense in my brain when you said it. Like something haunted me from that house, or like whether it
That's why I
physically
asked if you
got
went
in
inside
me,
it.
right, or it spooked my cerebellum somehow, but somehow something haunted me where I was like freaked out by it. And people I guess don't look at the supernatural or paranormal in something as simple as that. Like you could just be walking by and all of a sudden get a chill over you and you're like, where the fuck did that come from? That could be a haunting. Like something that simple could be a spirit going through you, or you know like, I feel like a hot day, a cold chill could be, something paranormal.
It can. And here, located in Arizona, where every single day is hot, even in the middle of December, you know when the temperature's not right. A cold chill, that's definitely one piece of paranormal evidence. You know when it's happening here, because it ain't right. When it's cold here, something ain't right.
Um, so how far do you think this goes? Like, can a ghost get in somebody and like kind of take over their body and make them do things that they normally wouldn't do? Like almost like a exorcist type of deal where they need to be exorcised,
It's
I guess.
interesting. I'm gonna briefly move this camera. Check this out. So right across the room from me, there is the couch. And we see the couch right there. Now that couch, hopefully you saw. I couldn't see for a second, so hopefully you're able to see the couch. But
Yeah.
I have only ever one time seen what I think could be a potential possession, and it took place on that couch. And now my
Jeez.
camera won't work. So hang on just a second.
Yeah.
And it's funny you asked that because before I would have never known. I would have never known the answer to your question until. Second. Back. I would have never known the answer to your question except there was a girl in here one night, and it was one of the actually freakier experiences of mine because she was on that couch. We had finished a ghost tour. Everyone had left the room except for her. And I was going to ask if she was okay, if she needed to go, why she was just sitting there. And she whispered the words, "Did you see the eyes?" And I said,
Ooh.
"What does that mean?" And I had someone else touring with me because I have a crew. Sometimes when you do a tour, there's more than one of us providing your tour. So when this happened, I was like, "What did she just say? Something about eyes?" And then this woman started saying, and I do know this woman. She wasn't a stranger. I do know this woman. So she started saying things that she would never say,
Matt, can
insulting
I stop you
swear
right there?
words.
Because I want you to only because your audio's cutting in and out. I want you to back out of the stream and come back, if you
Okay,
could, because you're at a good point, but the audio has just been cracking up so much. I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
If we could stop it, let's stop it.
It's,
I'm going to kick you out. Come back in on that link. Boom. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to bring on the one and only Bobby for a moment. We just got to a good part, but Bobby, has the audio been cutting in and out on Matt's side?
Yeah, yeah, I hear it clicking. I hear it clicking a lot. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see. We're bringing Matt back on right now. Let's see, Matt. I think we're better, dude. Talk to me, Matt. I think we're good. Let me just hear your vocals.
all right. Any better?
Yes,
La la
perfect.
la la
Yeah,
la.
Good.
that's better. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Good, good, good,
All
good.
right, we're getting rid of Bobby for now. We're bringing him back on in a little bit, folks.
Bye, Bob.
So Matt, do you remember where we were just at in that story? Because
Yes, essentially, a woman who I did know, I was familiar with, so I understood her behavior. But for some reason, after she said the words, "Did you see the eyes?" she started to speak in a way that wasn't her norm. Insulting, her voice seemed honestly slightly deeper than normal, and she almost had this sort of nasty sort of like foam at the mouth thrashiness to the way she was speaking, like just angry. And I was like, what is your problem? And I didn't know. So we were leaving and she just kept insulting me and my friend, my coworker, in such a way that I'm like, what is wrong with you? And when I looked at her in the face, her eyes were not her norm. Her eyes are normally green. I swear they were yellow. Like not yellow
Whoa,
like a
demon.
cat glowing in a flashlight. Yellow like a hue, almost like a reflective surface, but there was nothing to reflect the yellow hue. And I was like, something's wrong
Yeah.
with your eyes, which freaked me out because I remembered she just said the words, did you see the eyes? So we pulled her back into this room. We set her back on that couch. And for 45 minutes, she was insulting us while we said, whatever's causing this, go away. And after about
Yeah.
45 minutes, it did. She got teary-eyed and apologized and acted normal since then, and she has almost no recollection of that 45 minutes. Now I don't know what happened. I really don't. I don't know her, to be honest, medical history, anything like that, what
Right.
happened earlier that day. But in that moment,
Right.
I said, did we just witness a possession? And I've always wondered
Yes.
because she doesn't come
That's
in
what
here
it sounds
anymore.
like.
That was the last time she came in here. So
Wow.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like. I mean, she wakes up after that not really having a recollection of what was going on or why she was
Mhm.
saying any of those things. Yeah, man, that's
And
creepy.
initially,
So
I'm like,
like,
is this I thought it like it was a prank, maybe, but it didn't seem like one. Went on way too long. Plus, she never came back in the building. She refused to come in here ever again. So something was up.
she was spooked, yeah.
Mm.
So let me ask you this. How did these Fear Frontier tours start? Like, was this you like were on a property, realized it was haunted and started it, or like how did it come about?
So to speak, yes. Years ago, I just needed a job, and I became a tour guide in this town's mine tour. There's a daytime mine tour where you get to go a few, like you're not that deep underground. You're about 45, 50 feet underground, and they tell you about the history of the mining in this area because this was a very successful gold mining town for 5 years, the most successful Arizona's ever seen, actually. And I was
Wow.
a guide for that. And then while doing that, strange things kept happening. I kept looking into the history, and me and another employee by the name of Michael, we kept saying something's wrong with this place. And the more we looked into it, the more we asked, the more we talked to employees, everybody said, oh, yeah, didn't you know this place is haunted? And everybody's got a story. Everything was happening. And then me and Michael, we come out at night with ghost equipment, look around, and we would never leave empty handed. It was always the case. Like, we're like, something's here, something's reaching out. The owners of the town initially didn't want too much to do with paranormal in the town. But long story short, after a few years, I was in a better position to sort of return to this town. And I said, I want to add a tour to it. I want to add a ghost tour. And this was during COVID. So people needed to get out of the house. People needed something to do.
Yeah.
So I provided this nighttime outdoor experience for Halloween 2020. And in Halloween 2020, myself and the man Michael that I just mentioned kicked off our very first ghost tour, and it was a sold out event. And it's been a success ever since. And with the success of that nighttime tour, we go around the town and into the mine. Its success has led to a second tour in the building I'm in now, which is called Spirits of the Bordello Tour. While the other one, we walk around town, it's called the Goldfield Ghost Tour. Actually, two ghost tours. And this one that I'm in
What is
now can also run
bordello?
in the daytime. So, Bordello, Spirits
What
of
does
the
bordello
Bordello.
mean? Is that like
It's basically a
the
fancy word for a brothel, the
nice.
whorehouse. Yeah,
Nice.
so I'm
Is
I'm
it
up
still
where
active,
the
that
ladies.
whorehouse?
What's that?
Is it still active though, the whorehouse, or just an
Oh,
old
it can be. I kid you not. We've actually ran ghost detecting equipment that is supposed to sonify sound, and I'll have headphones on. You can hear what sounds like the bedroom's still in use. I was laughing the first time I heard it, even though it's one of the most terrifying things I've ever heard.
Yeah, dude. Like you have
And
a
women claim to get like groped in here and stuff. Even our own, we have female employees, and they don't mind me saying this. They felt like things groped them. They ran out of the building. Like, I need 15 minutes out in the sunlight. Something touched me. Where it shouldn't have. Things like that happen. So.
I would never work for you again. If that happened to me on a shift, I'm out like a Cub Scout, dude. Like
I do ask them that
I don't know, like
because to work here in interviews, I say if something happens that you cannot explain, and one of the best options of explanation is the paranormal, will it cause you to leave? They always say no, but all about 80%, like 80%. Once something real happens, they're out. And when
yeah.
something real happens, I always ask them like, "Are you okay? Can you go
And
back
the
to work? Do you want
ones
to go
that
home?"
say
And yeah,
and the ones that say yes, but like before actually experiencing it are kind of wacky because it could be a horse of a different color after you actually experience something paranormal or, freaky. Uh
I have heard
yeah.
employees say, "I didn't know it was real," probably 100 times.
Yeah. So have you ever anybody like just go on and quit like all of a sudden they couldn't handle it. It was freak out territory?
Yeah, I've had an employee last 5 days once before they saw something that scared them so bad that they noped out. They're like, "I can't come in anymore." 5 days is the shortest record, I think.
So you don't live on this property, you just visit it and do these tours
Right.
kind of
I live
often.
near it. I live
Wow.
very short drive from here. I feel like I live on it. I'm here a lot. I'm here
I
a
was gonna
lot, so I
say,
feel like I live here, but I'm about 10 minutes away.
and since you're kind of walking into their territory without invitation, they might feel like they can come onto your property without invitation. And that's what kind of freaks me out, like if you start messing around with that world, because again, when
Right.
I saw those two things as a kid, I was like, I want no part of this, I want to pay no mind to it, because I feel like if I do, it gives them more power. So in my
That's
brain, it's
why.
like yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So you doing the things you do, like maybe gives them more power to come after you, like, oh, he's playing with us, let's play back, type of deal.
I do agree. There's a couple things that help me personally. One, there's a very interesting piece of plot armor to the spirits of this area, and supposedly, according to the curse that's on the Superstition Mountains, which literally, if I go look out any window that is to my right, I will literally see the Superstition Mountains. That's how close I am. Supposedly, though, a lot of these hauntings are bound almost like a prison sentence to the desert, and there is a certain border that they are not allowed to pass. Native
Wow.
American curse specifically says those who die within the mountain's shadow, which this town is right at the foot of the mountain. But supposedly, if you go far enough away, nothing can follow you. There's also the
Okay.
fact that now I don't know where that border is exactly. I've never measured it.
Right.
The other
Right.
thing is some things do seem to behave if you tell them absolutely not, not interested, do not touch me. I'll call an exorcist if you do. There's that, and there's also the fact that
So
I
hold on real quick,
I
one
sort
question.
of don't do certain things. Mm,
I just want to ask you this one question,
yes, sir.
because if if the physical world realizes what's going on, it could dominate the paranormal world and say, "Stop, I'm not like on board with this." But if they don't, they could be physically hurt, scratched, or whatever if they don't like assert their dominance.
In my experience, it depends on who it is you're talking to. But yes, a
Ooh,
lot of them will, just like if, it's like you've told a stranger, like, "I don't feel like talking to you," like, "Okay, sorry for bothering
right.
you." It seems the spirit world is similar. However, it
Okay.
also might depend on who you're messing with. I also
Yeah.
literally only 3 weeks ago, I even have a picture of this. 3 weeks ago, a young girl was in here. She was terrified. Her family wanted her to go on the tour. She was terrified. I could literally hear her whispering the words, "You're not real, you're not real, you're not real," over and over. She wound up getting scratched to where the back of her neck started bleeding.
Mm,
And her mother screamed when this happened. And I'm like, don't take it off by saying it's not real. So it
right.
depends who and what you're dealing with. Um,
So in
I
one
also think it's
aspect, you
smart to
could
keep a little, what was that?
sorry. So in one aspect, you could be feeding into it by giving it like credence and saying no, go away. And then the other aspect, you could be kind of fighting it by doing it, and it just depends on either the level of the demon or spirit or the level of the person in the physical world.
I
Wow, that
think
makes so much
there is
sense,
some truth
really.
to it. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I've never been scratched, but I also pray up in here. I'm not gonna lie. I pray up. I
yeah,
Bible up and stuff in here. So I'm not even
yeah.
ashamed to say it. Like,
No, you
yeah.
should not be, dude. I mean, I would be
I don't
wearing garlic and crosses all over. Like, I'd go everything in the book if I was messing with the stuff you're messing with.
right. In fact, I keep a Bible. There's a Bible one room over. I keep a Bible in here. And I also don't do Ouija boards. I don't partake in seances, things like that. I don't want to
Yeah, yeah.
cross lines. I don't want to conjure. I'm only interested in what's already here. What got here before I got
Right.
here is what I'm interested in. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So in other words,
Yeah.
you're not disturbing and like pulling them out of whatever, you're just stumbling upon them and then that seems to be the good thing because I think you're right. If you start summoning and, going into their world unexpectedly, that could be where, they're like what the fuck? And then,
Right.
the
If you
creepiness starts
wander somewhere
to
unprotected, provoking, asking for it, yeah, you might get more than you bargained for. I've seen that too. And a lot of people are like,
yeah.
well, you should be the first one to do this. I'm like, no, I'm the first one to say I know where the lines should be. And
Yeah.
I often say, like, we call that wisdom around here. It's something I'm known to say.
Yes.
Like, you got to know when to stop. But
It's almost like the people who haven't fucked around and found out, like, they've never been slapped or punched, they're the ones that run
exactly.
their mouth. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the way to
Makes
put it.
total sense. Yeah,
Because a lot
and
of
it seems
people,
like
yeah, yeah, a lot of people they come like, oh, you can't believe, oh, it's not real, you can't possibly, and then something happens, and they're like, they're the first ones to head for the door. I'm like, I tried to tell you.
right. Yeah, yeah, well, I would be the, one running for the door, but I wouldn't be the one being like, "No, I don't know about this," and, like, I fully, believe. Um, so I'm just gonna tell you, one of the scenarios that happened as a kid that was so vivid. I'll give you the 7-year-old one because, again, at 1.5 years old, could your mind be playing tricks? Yeah. At 7, no. This was 100% real, and I know 1.5 years old
Yeah.
was real as well, but people will believe 7 years old as opposed to 1.5. But I was,
Mhm.
again, had to go to bed 8 o'clock at night, TV off at 9. And this was a night Rambo was on TV that my, mother and father let me stay up to watch it, so TV got to go on until 9:30. And again, I only remember this so vividly because it freaked the shit out of me, and when it happened, I was staring at the clock, so at 9:15, all of a sudden, my bedroom is, it opens up into basically our dining room, and I could watch a figure glowing in white walk by my like bedroom door and then past the dining room into the kitchen through the sink through the wall. And I like immediately, mom, like screaming for my mother, like, is that you? Is that you? She's not there. So I go running for her in the living room and I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? She's like, what's going on? And I explained to her what happened. I'm like, and it happened not like real quick, like 5 seconds. Like this was like 45 seconds to a minute, which if you know time, that's a long fucking time as a kid staring, through your door watching a shadowy, glowy figure go through your kitchen sink and a wall. Um, and no explanation. Of course, she had nothing to do with it. She finally settles me down. I go back to bed, but still to this day, it's so etched in my brain as it happened 100%. So nothing could ever tell me that ghosts don't exist or that shit is not real because I saw it
Oh,
literally.
yeah. It's fascinating when that happens too, because it's one thing when someone's like, "Oh, I saw something in the dark," or "I saw something out of the periphery of my eye." You saw it walk across and through and from for a while. It wasn't just a blink and gone. It was a while. So
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
like,
cool.
enough to where you're like, "What the fuck?" When I
Yeah,
say
you got time to
30.
process it while it's still going
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
and,
the good kind.
I guess, but so you might run towards that and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was freaked the fuck out, man. I'm like, that thing didn't belong and all that stuff. So it's like the fact. I mean, I guess like the fact that you're playing with that realm is cool and nothing has happened, but I just feel like you're playing with fire.
I've always told myself if it ever gets to the point where I feel I have crossed over into that fire, I feel like something happens, someone's harmed, family's harmed, or it starts to interrupt my life in a way, then I will
Yeah.
back out of it. Because ultimately, when people say, "Why do you do this?" I like scary things. It's not even really scientific or anything or spiritual. I just like scary things. I like being scared. I get to play ghost host to people. I get to teach them about the paranormal, and that's fun.
Right.
But if I had something literally like harming, like I'm gonna kill your family, like I'm gonna stop doing it. like,
Yeah.
like you know,
I mean, I guess I'm gonna level it to is like, so if you're watching like Friday the 13th, Freddy, like
mhm,
this is fun, scary, this is cool. But then if you're
right,
watching like something that's like, there could actually be somebody there killing you and scary, like I've crossed over that path where like the movie is fun and like all good and scary, but then I've crossed over where I'm like, "Oh, that could actually happen, and it is scary." And
right.
I guess that's where it's like when you're playing around with that world, I'm just like, what happens if you are in it? Because it's fun, 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 but then you get scared and then you can't get out of that scared. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's fake scared, real scared, whatever, it could just be freaky all around.
Yeah, it's a gamble, and I guess it takes a
Gamble.
certain kind, sort of like only certain people can be a mortician. Only certain people can desirably work in a haunted location, knowing that that's what its reputation is. So I guess it just
Yeah,
takes it's the type of person. Like I said also
totally.
earlier in the same podcast, I also might just be insane. That is a potential theory on
No,
the
no,
table.
the fact that you're contemplating the fact that you would be insane means you're not. But what you
Yeah,
said makes sense. Yeah, some people are cut out for this shit. Some people aren't.
right. It's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, it makes total sense.
And it's interesting too because I mean, if you watch paranormal TV shows, this is something us and Fear Frontier make fun of. They'll go into a haunted hospital or something with their equipment, and they'll be like, "Oh, if you're there, if the ghost of so and so is here, knock on the door, close the door." And then when it does, they scream and they run. In Fear Frontier, we don't run. It's actually a rule of ours.
Right.
If you do run, like, well, we're gonna have a meeting about that. Now, that's one thing if it's
Wow.
dangerous. It's one thing if, like, if you walk in a room and a gun goes off, or there's an animal, or something like that. That's one thing. But I mean, if you see a shadow or a knock, or you hear a voice and no one's in the room, and you just run, I'm like, well, you're kind of in the wrong field. So we actually have a rule, a friendly rule. We're not going to like scream at you, but here in Fear Frontier, we make it where we choose not to run. We can be startled, but we collect ourselves and we investigate, debunk if we can. We love
Yeah.
to debunk when we can't. That it gets interesting. So,
Are there safety protocols for if like they're not like so, like vampires, like pull out a cross and show it towards them and it's gonna like stop them. Are there safety protocols for something going on if it gets too out of hand one way or another? Ghost,
I would
poltergeist.
say, I would say when it comes, you mean like in Fear Frontier or just in general? Like,
I would well, so yeah, so because I would say in general, you're right? Because yeah, Fear Frontier it is
um,
what it is, but in general, what would you recommend?
I would say that everybody probably has different beliefs. Like in Fear Frontier, there's a lot of yin and yang. Like me, my protection, I'm gonna say Jesus Christ. That's gonna
Yeah,
be what I consider my protection. But another person
yeah.
might go crystals, turquoise, or symbols of protection that like Egyptians
Let
would
me
have
ask you
used.
this:
Hmm?
gun to your head right now. Seriously, I got a gun to your head. I'm gonna shoot you if you say you believe in Jesus Christ. Do you believe in Jesus Christ?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I
Boom.
do.
Okay. So it's that level of faith that could probably protect you in the paranormal realm. That the fact that like, yeah, I'm willing to die saying Jesus exists and he's got more power over you. So blow me if you don't believe it, type of deal.
Yeah, and I actually it's interesting because when I'm doing ghost tours and stuff, I'm not gonna like come out and advertise this, but yeah, when people ask me, I'm like, yes, and I do think sometimes that is why I have been a little more protected than many. I really do think that,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I've also seen people denounce the name of Jesus and be scratched in the same 5 minutes. I've seen that in this. I
Bam.
don't know if that's what caused it, but I've seen it.
So again,
So
because I'm not like heavily into organized religion, but I 100% believe in Jesus Christ, the Holy
mhm.
Spirit, and the Lord Himself, or herself, whatever. Um, but I've always, in my brain of brains, had said if a real life scenario came into play where they said you need to tell me you don't believe in Jesus, or I'm going to shoot you, shoot me. Let's go right now. So, yeah, maybe if you have that level of faith, and that's not that much, I guess, because I'm not going to church every Sunday or, you know, uh, cut meat out on the Lent and stuff like that. But maybe if you have just that level, you could be protected and or at least have more power over the paranormal. Is my hope,
Yeah, I'm even
at
known to
least.
pray before a ghost tour. Even if it's just taking 5 people for a walk to entertain them. I usually will say a
Smart.
prayer before, but not to the group personally.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
one. Like,
Yeah, you can't let the group know that you have maybe some, inkling of, "Hey, this could go a little wacky," you know? Gotta keep that.
yeah, it's funny because it's funny too because like sometimes you're like, I've brought so and so, they're a little scared. I'm like, you shouldn't have said that because now I'm gonna focus on them because I do enjoy scaring people too.
Oh
So
my
it's a mix.
god,
I'm like,
is
I
that
don't want to
not the
harm
best
you, but I
thing?
do want you to be nervous. It's part of the. It's like going on a
So
roll
I've
bump,
never got to
going on at house.
so let me ask you this, I've never got to scare somebody, like, kinda, as they know it, like, it's kinda like you sneak up on them, you know what I'm saying? But it almost seems like you could scare somebody as, like, you're leading them in and, like, you're slowly lulling them into, like, "Oh, we're safe now," and then, bah, you pop out. Whereas, like, m majority of the time you scare somebody, it's like you just pop out of nowhere. But you are kinda maybe lowering them into, like, "Oh, we're cool. This is a cool spot," and then, "Ah!" You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cool type of scare
Yeah,
because it's like conducting the
it's fun.
scenario.
No,
Yeah.
it's good because I say when I'm training a tour guide or something, I say paint a picture. Let them see the past and what's wrong with it. Why is the past here? Why is what's haunting this place here? Don't make it random. Make sure they understand why. And then you paint that picture and you sort of allow them to understand why it's haunted. And sometimes you don't even have to do the raw. Sometimes they're just scared because the lights went out, or
Right.
you tell them a scary story. You end with, and that happened in this very room that you're in. Like they start looking over their shoulder, like there's and then there's always the power suggestion things, and sometimes
Right.
nothing happens. And even when nothing happens, people are still nervous. Then sometimes things do happen. Like this is rigged. I'm like, no, no, it's real. And then they start realizing there's no secret strings, there's no other
Yeah.
actors, anything like that, and they start really freaking out. And like this place is actually haunted. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a tour guide. I wouldn't lie to you. So there's a lot of fun
It's
to be had.
just a
This is my
cool
way of sort of having fun with the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just a cool concept because, again,
Mhm.
like I said, you startle people, you scare them that way, but to like actually lead them on something and throw a scare in that leads to nothing harmful like a normal startle does. Like nothing harmful comes of it. But it's like it's cool. I would wonder what it would be like to be on your side of it where you could it's coming up like, oh, they're lulled here and then now we're gonna give it to them, like that's a cool
Mhm.
thing.
It's definitely
I'm
unique. It's definitely fun. Um, like if we're in a dark room and I have a candle and then I suddenly blow that candle out and I know I'm gonna blow it out and they don't, I look very forward to that
Yes.
moment.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
similar to, a comedian, like, it's like, we're kinda revealing, like, backdoor shit here because we're kinda giving, like, inside baseball to how we do these things, but, sometimes I'll get real quiet and I'll, bring it down a little bit just to where I could get real animated and bring the story up because it just like brings the thing in to make them laugh and more
Yeah.
excited. So it's like almost the same thing with what
And
you're
that
doing with Scary though, but I never even thought to do that
it is
with
similar.
humans on that
You
level.
know, it
That's
is. It
fun.
is. It's a performance. Reading your
Yes.
audience. Because
Yeah.
if I have a room full of teenagers, I'm going to go dark, scary, more violent, more disturbing. But if you have a bunch of senior citizens that just got off the bus and like, well, let's check this place out, they're going to get
Right.
history with a little more campfire vibe. Like,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. So you're reading the room. Yeah. It's a full on
Mhm.
thing. Yeah. I like that. I got to come out there and check it out. That's for sure.
Oh, we'd
Let's
love
do
it.
this, Matt, because what we always do, what I would like to do is maybe when we come out there around October-ish, because I feel like that's when I'm in my most scary mode, and maybe do
It's
like
a
a
good time to
live
come out.
stream or something cool, like just something fun, so the audience can kind of check out
Yeah,
what we're doing and kind of go through it.
that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I think
great. We
that'd be
could
fun,
like
man.
get like you, yeah, because we could go through this building and through the mine. A live stream, your guys' reaction going down into the dark. As I put it in the tour, we're gonna go into their world. So
Boom. And if I get scared like a little girl, just please hold me like a baby because
as
I could
long as
get
the
crippled by
cameras are
fear.
running, yeah, we can get that.
Yeah.
That's good content right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That'll be the
Uh,
thumbnail. You and me embrace will be the thumbnail.
Can you oh my god, we'd be viral like nobody's business, dude. They'd be like,
Exactly.
Fear Frontier, times 3 or something. But yeah,
Exactly.
so go check it. They could check it. Is this tour year round that people can go to, or is this something that they could do
It is.
certain times?
It is actually. In fact, what's fun is it gets hot in the summer here. Spoiler alert from Arizona. And normally we would off, but this year, for the first time ever, we are going to be fully year round because this building's air conditioned, and we are going to be bringing people in here for extended experience in here. So in the summer, if you come on our tour, you get to spend like longer in the building than you normally would have. We're going to break out
Wow.
all the stops. Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if that's good for the scared people, but for the non-faint of heart, that's definitely a good.
Well, the
Oh,
fun
we gotta
thing
hook you
is
up with this.
we
Go ahead.
do
I'm
allow
sorry.
people to leave if they want. Like we don't prevent people from leaving. We do get people do get scared and leave. It does happen. We
The
always
walk
make
of
sure that they can get
shame,
back out.
right there. The walk of shame. They're like, oh, I'm too scared.
Get the long way back to the car from here. Yeah, on
Yes, sir.
purpose.
We got to hook you up with the SoCal Spirit Seekers too. They're a little bit more on the gimmicky side, but I feel like they've gone to like some good haunted spots, and I feel like they would be good for like some kind of tour ish. Like they could be like a ghost
Yeah,
host, like a host guest tour or something like that. Be like a
yeah. We don't mind
ghost.
gimmicky. We like the deadpan serious, the gimmicky, the funny, the non-believer, the skeptic. We love when everyone comes to see us. We have a good time no matter what.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, all is welcome, right? I mean, when they're not is when it becomes like, what's going on there? you know? When people aren't welcome, you're like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on
Mhm.
behind closed doors? Matt, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming on,
yeah.
dude. It has been fun. Let's bring Bobby
Of
on real
course.
quick because Bobby kind of put this together. I feel like he stole you from drumming conversation, but let's bring him on nonetheless. Oh, my screen is wacky.
Shout out to Drumming Conversation.
Yeah, that'd be fun if I could bring on Justin, but
Oh,
oh,
sneak
here we
sneak
go.
attack guest surprise appearance.
Bobby, what's going on, brother? Good guest. Thank you for bringing on Mr. Matt Mason.
Absolutely.
Tell him how much of how did this come about, Bobby? Was it just you guys being nuts on the internet?
Yeah, I just caught him in a chat, and we got to talking, and I was like, we had an open spot, and I asked him to come on, and I looked at his YouTube site, and it was really interesting, and he's an
Bob,
awesome guest. He had a
Big
lot of
knock
stuff.
over there.
Yeah, Bobby
lot
was
of
saying we
interesting
got to
stuff.
get him on, and it was a good time. It was fun. I'm upset that our audio was a little off in the beginning, but once we got that fixed, dude, it was awesome.
Blame the ghosts.
Matt, one
Just
more
blame the ghosts.
100%, dude. We already know that's what it was. One more time, let the
Yeah,
audience know.
something knocked on the wall a second ago. I don't know what it was. Anyway,
Don't tell me that,
the
dude.
ghosts are saying
Not one.
they didn't want
Not
to
while
leave
I'm-
without saying something.
I was gonna say, well, not while I'm getting close to my bedtime, dude, because I don't need them knocking on my wall. But Matt, for real, tell them where they can catch you at. We said it, but let them know where your YouTube channel is and all that jazz.
Wait, you cut up for just a second there.
Oh, so let them
Very
know
last
where
part.
your YouTube channel is and where they could go to book their time on your tour.
So it's breaking up, but I think you're saying let them know how they can find me, right?
Yes.
So, all right. Fear Frontier, www.fearfrontier.net. You can book both day and night tours through the website. You can also come down and see us in person in Apache Junction, Arizona, in Goldfield Ghost Town. And Fear Frontier is also at TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Yes. Matt, thank you so much for coming on. We will do this again with Mr. Chad Gracie. And we'll do it again soon, man, because we had fun and we just scratched the surface. We got a lot more to do.
Yeah, tip of the iceberg.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Mason from Fear Frontier. Let's go. What up, Bobby? Good guess there, sir.
I was trying to bring up The Economist magazine again. Trying to find it here. Hold on one second.
I saw you saying
all
something
right.
about they predicted the Strait of the
Do you see it?
Hormuz, or
Are you seeing it? Can you bring it
it's
up?
pulled up.
I'm sharing it right now.
There we go.
All right. So you can see what's going
I
on
think
here.
I can full screen.
We
it.
got
Let me see.
drones.
Is that full screen? Yeah, I think so, right?
We got
There we go.
yeah, that's good. We got the drones here. You know, they were using the drones. This looks like some kind of space-based weapon. I'm thinking. I'm not really totally sure
Satellite,
about
but
that.
maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's shooting something, so I don't know. You got cargo
Shipping.
container. Yeah, and it looks like it's loaded with some shooting at the
Shooting through it, right?
250th and yeah, it's shooting right at the 250th
Yeah.
anniversary cake.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
it's just then the market, you got the market is going down. These two swords, if you take this and you mirror it, it looks like a square and compass. Looks just like a square and compass.
And
If
what
you
does that
mirror this,
signify? Just
it's
like
Freemasons.
Ah.
It's a Freemason symbol.
gotcha.
Also, you got the rocket. The rockets went off. The Artemis shuttle.
Oh, you
went
even
to,
the fucking penis shaped shuttle right to the left of it.
That's that's Bezos's
Yeah.
shuttle. Then you got these little robots they're all over the news now. You got even
Yeah, there's
humanoid
Optimus
robots
Prime
running
right
after
there.
things.
That's
Yeah,
Optimus
you
from
got there's a
well,
lot.
they're
There's a
showing
lot.
look to the bottom right. They're showing the ice caps melting. They're not melting.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
you
bottom
got
right. No, you're on the left.
I don't
Yeah,
know
there
if
you go.
that's signifying it. I don't know if that's
I don't
signifying
know. I
that.
think it might be. They got that one wrong.
Then you got pills
And what's this?
everywhere.
This is the jab for the to the right above it. By
They're
the rocket,
talking
yeah.
about a jab for Lyme disease now that's coming out. They're talking about a
Oh
jab
my
coming out
God.
for Lyme disease. Yeah.
Really? Who the fuck
And
is
of course
worried
it's
about Lyme disease?
well, they're saying it's spreading like crazy now. They're seeing ticks
Yeah, of
all
course they're
over.
saying it the same way they said COVID was spreading like crazy and killing people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know I agree with you. You know I agree with that.
They're insane, bro.
It's-
And you know what's funny, dude, is the fact that people are gonna fall for it all again, and
Yeah, exactly.
we'll be sitting here screaming into the mic. We told you last time. Can we tell you again? And then
Yeah.
no, it's garbage, dude. It's garbage. I had no idea that
People don't want to listen. They don't want to listen.
It's not even that. It's they're 3/4 of the world is retarded, and I mean that literally.
Yeah,
Their
I
IQ is
agree. I
below
agree.
70. 3/4 of the world is retarded. And I hate to say it,
I
you're all
agree. I
fucking
hate to
dumb.
say it too. I hate to say it too. I was
When
reading
you could
something the
have
other day.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was reading something the other day that said less than 50% of people do not have an inner monologue. That means they don't like have any inner like dialogue going on
Right.
in their mind.
They
It's
don't
just like
think.
blank. Like, so yeah, what's going on? Yeah, it's
Right.
crazy.
I
It's
mean, how do you not?
unbelievable.
You thinking fucking what are you thinking? If you don't think in inner monologue words going on, like I'm watching something, I'm feeling this, like my brain is
Exactly.
talking. There's a
Yeah.
monologue going on.
Yeah, it's
If you
crazy.
don't
Like when
have
I
that,
heard that, I was like, what the fuck? That amazed me. That
crazy.
number
That
was so high.
and I guarantee
Crazy.
anybody who doesn't have an inner monologue is probably a serial killer, is probably a rapist, is probably a pedophile because you don't have something in your brain saying, "Hey, dude, don't do that. That's wrong."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you don't have
That
a
inner
conscious.
monologue,
Yeah,
yes, that inner monologue is what
exactly.
keeps you from doing stupid shit. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Oh,
I
fuck, I
agree.
feel bad about doing that. Like, if you don't have any of that going on in your brain, you're basically dead to the world, and
Yeah, yeah, a
I don't know, a
zombie,
vampire.
and
Yeah, a
you're like a
zombie,
zombie. Yeah,
and
and we're
there's
seeing
plenty of
that,
them
you
out
know?
there, that's for sure.
Exactly, exactly. But I just wanted to bring this up because it just shows you that they have this all planned well in advance. You know, everything that
100%.
happens is planned.
I
We'll
wanna
see what
show
happens, you
people
know?
something that I've experienced firsthand, been talking about it for a minute. Uh, I've been to China personally, and I've got to see what a superpower, what a superpower countries like lives like their people, their citizens, and how they work. Because think about it. So who are the superpowers of the world? You got America, you got Russia, you got Europe, and probably China. Are there any other ones? I'm not sure, but those are the four that I could think of.
No, yeah, those are pretty much.
Japan, not so much. Australia, not so much. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Germany's part of European Union, whatever. But those are four I'm thinking of. Uh, so you go to China and they have no stop signs, no stop lights, no lanes in the highways, no cross sections for people to cross the road. And
What?
I've said this. So I went to China in like 2014. I've been saying this to people since I came back. And I also so that's a form of oppression. The fact that just a free for all, no rules at all. Cars could drive wherever they want. People are trying to cross the road. That's a form of oppression. The fact that they still eat with chopsticks when there's forks and knives is a form of oppression. Sorry, it's not a better tool to eat. The
It's
fact
not.
that they don't have toilets and they shit in holes in the ground is a form of oppression. This is what happens
It
when you
is.
have communist people run a government. They get squirrely and nuts. So I just want to show you. This is a highway built in China that is like 50 fucking lanes that merges down to four. How a government could build a fucking highway like this is insane. And it just goes to show this is how they do everything. This is not just a highway. This is not just eating. They do everything to oppress and make things difficult. Let me show you this.
Mm.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, this full screen is fucking with me. I'm on my two monitors today, so it's like fucking with how I use this.
Uh,
But this should do it. Yeah, here we go. So here's just a picture, and then I'm gonna show you what a video looks like.
oh,
Like
wow.
what? First of all,
That's
there's no lanes.
crazy.
Even if you had lanes, how do you navigate that?
Oh my
But
God.
now
That's
let's
why
go
they're the
and
worst
show you what.
drivers.
Right, and now you know why, because they come from fucking 50 lane highways.
Yeah.
Dude, look at this. They're merging
Wow.
from toll booths, bro. What?
That's
That's
insane.
insane, bro. That is insane. But
Look at the picture next to him.
my point of this, Bobby, is that their government set this up and thought it was a good idea. Let's take
Mhm.
25 lanes and then merge them down to 4.
Yeah,
Because
that's
their
retarded.
government
That's
doesn't think
crazy.
about the people. They think about probably the fucking 30 miles that led up to this was clear for their trucks to go through. And then once it bottles next
Mhm.
to this, it doesn't matter. It's just for the people. So who cares if they sit in
Exactly.
9 hours of traffic? That's how their government thinks,
That's
dude.
insane. That is insane. I
Insane.
didn't even think
And I've
China had
witnessed it.
that many cars. Wow.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't.
Right?
But I'm being serious. Like I've witnessed it firsthand. It's crazy. There's dogs dying in the street. Like, so you don't ever walk in New York City and see a dog starving ever in your life. You don't walk anywhere in America and see a dog starving ever.
That's terrible. That's
They're doing
terrible,
it
man.
all over in China. They're starving in the streets. They're dying in the streets. They have mange on their fucking fur. And
Wow.
there's no care for any sort of humanity over there. It's crazy. And I only say it to our audience because us as Americans, we're so blind-eyed to things like that, where we could hear things like that, but until you see it, like, with your own eyes, it doesn't fucking register. And when I tell you,
Yeah.
it's a sad existence over there. While their government is living fucking high on the hog, 90% of the country is starving. Their animals are starving. It's gross. And then never been to Russia, but I guarantee you it's very close to the fucking same. Show me one communist
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
that works, please. North Korea? No.
Yeah.
Name any fucking country, it doesn't work. It's gross.
Yeah. Communism
All they
never
care about
works.
is
No.
their. It's
All they
crazy.
care about is their
I don't.
oligarchies. It's crazy. You're right.
Yeah, and then we're the best government in the world, and then where the fuck do we fall? Okay, so we're the best government in the world, like when the doors are open. Behind closed doors, we are the worst government in the world. The fact that you are letting fucking people who stepped foot on Epstein's island still breathe means we're a fucking third world country. Sorry, but
Yep.
it's the fucking truth. There's no
It
way
is.
our leaders can fucking do those things and just get out of fucking jail scot free. There's no way our government can put forth bills and laws that make their bank accounts go up. That we're not the best country. And matter of fact,
No.
there's probably there's probably third world countries where their government treats their people better, but their resources are shit. So the horribleness of America is our resources are fucking infinite. That's why we could fucking do whatever the fuck we want and treat the world however the fuck we want. But I guarantee you, there's other governments in this world that treat their citizens better than we do. There's no
Absolutely.
way you
Absolutely.
could tell me I'm living in a fucking free world and I voted in these leaders that fuck my kids. I mean, the fact that those words came out of my mouth is gross. The fact that
It's
people are doing
disgusting.
that is this. Yes, thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you. Other people should be
Disgusting.
finishing my sentences right now because I'm speaking knowledge. People should fucking wake up. Our fucking politicians should wake up because you're getting people pushed to the point, man. Like, how can so somebody can go rob a store, be put in jail for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Somebody can go fuck a kid, rape a kid, beat a woman on an island, and then we know about it, but they're okay. They get to walk, they get to be voted into office, they get to fucking run companies. That's okay. So where is the level we draw on? Petty crime, no good, but serious, real crime, great, good.
It's crazy.
I
It's
just lose
the
it, dude.
Epstein class is it's disgusting that they're not prosecuting. They're not looking to prosecute anybody. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. But it's like, what do you do, man? It's like, it's like, I feel like I'm pushed to the point where I want to go up to fucking a politician that's part of this and rip their fucking throat out. Like, and then I'm the asshole because I ripped a fucking pedophile's throat out. No, I'm not. Sorry. It's nobody wants to see it, but it needs to be done. Like, shit needs to be done and nothing's getting done. And I honestly don't know what to do about it. Like, again,
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who's going to go off the rails like the Unabomber, but hey, maybe the motherfucker was onto something, dude. What was he preaching about? Computers taking over the world, AI doing all the shit.
Yep.
He was 45 years ahead of his time. Like, we're at the precipice now. We're fucked. The computers are taking over. Yes, done deal. But we can still stop the evil fucking human beings that are doing evil human shit now. Computers are taking over. We're done. But we could
Yeah,
still take a
that's
stand
a done deal.
for
Yeah,
fucking humanity.
exactly. You're absolutely right. 100%. I agree with you 100% on all that. No doubt.
But what do we do,
No doubt.
Bobby, though? That's the thing. Like, we could just breathe and talk about it till we're blue in the face.
We
but
got to
what
keep
the fuck
talking
are-
about it. We just got to keep talking about it. And we can't really, we have to keep talking about it because there's going to be a point where enough people wake up to it that something's going to happen. And people are going to take things into their own hands. Like, you
But
see
I'm at
people.
the point, dude. Like, I'm at the point. Like, what do they need to do? Do they need to like rape my niece and nephew for me to really fucking go and kill people? Like, I'm at that point, dude. They've fucking done so much harm to what is supposed to be the best government on the in the land, in the world, democracy, freedom, all that shit, and it's garbage. It's bullshit,
Yeah.
dude.
It's a lie.
If
It's a
you
lie.
could have a society where the tough take advantage of the weak, that's not a society. Absolutely not. A society is where the tough help the weak and where the weak maybe have some smarts and help the less, intelligent. Like, that's how society comes about, not where one hand is way above the other. That's where you get total like opposition, which is what we have
Anarchy.
right now.
Yeah.
The left and the right. Yeah. Which is what they want. Division.
Yeah.
But people, we
Order-
need to wake
order
up
out of chaos.
and unite.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, what would
exactly.
they do? Bobby, what would they do if we woke up tomorrow and said, we're all together? What are you gonna do? You don't have an army. We are the
They
army.
can't stop. Yeah, they can't stop
Can't
the
stop
people
it.
if we united and we weren't so divided by all this propaganda that's pushed. There's nothing that they could do to stop humanity.
You're right.
Nothing.
But how do you get humanity all on board for what is right? Because we're so easily led down wrong paths. I've been wrong before. I've been lied and led down stupid shit where I thought, yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm like, wait a second here. So it's like, I've been duped. Everybody's been duped. It's so easy to be duped. And it just keeps going on because life is hard, right? You need to wake up. You need to go to work. You need to fucking put food on the table. You can't worry about global problems. You need to worry about
Exactly.
local problems. So
Exactly.
but if we all tomorrow thought about global problems, literally tomorrow, the world would change for the better, man. It's such an easy solution to the problem, but so hard to fucking get there. It's crazy.
You know what? We all have to be the change that we want to see. We have to be the change that we want to see. If we're all being the change we want to see, that's what's going to help the next person. That's what's going to help the world. People just
Agreed.
have to learn. They have to do it. People, they see what's going on. They see what's going on with these people in the Epstein files. They see how sick the government is, like giving them a pass, all because they're wealthy billionaires. It's sickening. It really is. It's sickening. It's money over everything. Nah, that's not how the world should work. No.
And I said I've thought of for a long, like, what does it all get them if at the end they've got what they wanted and there's 10 people left on Earth, and now there's nobody able, like, left to dig the earth, make their food, kill their cows. Like, then they're fucked. But now they're at the point where no, they're not, because now they have robots to do all
Yeah,
that shit
exactly.
that the
Exactly.
humans that didn't, like, this is dead ass serious. They at one point needed us to, like, not to put forth their agenda, but to survive. Now they no longer need us to survive because AI
Yeah.
and robots have gotten to the point where it could dig fields, it could cook for you, it could be an army, it could drive vehicles, it could move economic markets. Like, it's to the point
Yeah.
where humans aren't necessary unless you want a spark of creativity that wasn't thought about already. Because that's where humans thrive, is we are creative and we,
Exactly.
make shit. We don't just look at everything and then make a carbon copy or a one off. Like, our shit is original, and that's why humans
Mm-hmm.
should be dominant. But it's to the point where no, a
Sad, man.
brainwave is it's crazy, man. And we did it to ourselves. We did it
Yeah.
to ourselves.
Yeah. That's why.
We're about to,
What's that?
I said we're about to be
No.
extinct, like, not from
Yeah.
an asteroid, not from fucking God vengeance at us, not from us blowing, us up with nuclear bombs, but from us literally creating an entity that can realize, if we want the Earth to survive a little bit longer, maybe we remove humans, because they're certainly making it warmer. They're
Yeah.
certainly changing the environment. They're certainly, digging up resources for the earth that they need. So they're almost like a disease. And if I
Yeah.
was
Exactly.
but seriously, the way we look at
No, you're
ants and
absolutely
bugs,
right.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
if a
That's how
bug is
AI
in my
look
house,
at us.
yeah,
That's how
think about
AI
it,
would
like,
look at us. Yeah.
we
You're
need
absolutely right.
bugs, but we don't need them in our house, right? So we'll literally exterminate them from our house, but we'll let them, like, roam the perimeter and do whatever the fuck they need out there. And that's gonna be what life will be like for humans in the long run. We can't do whatever the fuck we want to do. We'll be able to do what the robots say we are able to do. We're not allowed in their house
Exactly.
because they'll exterminate us, but on the streets, fucking maybe hooked up to batteries to fucking feed them energy. I don't know, but certainly not our
It's a
free will.
very, very dystopian outlook. It is very dystopian.
It is so dystopian, but I almost feel like it's tell me because so Elon Musk's thought is, oh yeah, computers take over every job, and then we have universal high income. So that means computers are working, robots are working, no humans are working, but we all have a fat paycheck. That's best case scenario. That sounds to me like winning the lottery, and I've never once hit that in my life. So I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
worst case scenario, which is the
Yeah.
robots realize they don't need humans literally for anything. So my thought was they need us for energy, so they hook us up to these machines so humans survive. They don't. They'll get their energy from fucking wind, water, and solar like we should be doing. But no, we're taking it from fossil
Mhm.
fuels that are fucking stupid. Like, we have enough rivers to run turbines. We have enough wind to fucking run turbines. Put those fucking things in the ocean. Fucking turbines running wind, rivers, solar. It's crazy the fact that, oh,
Yeah, there's
dude,
no need to be using fossil fuel. That's all. That's all. It's all a lie. It's all just to make people money, just to
yeah.
get over on humanity. It's just another way they get over on us, on the people.
And thank God I saved this thought of my brain for the podcast and the podcast only, because these are thoughts that I feel like should be running through my brain all day, every day, but I can't live like that. I have to, live a real life. But I feel like
Exactly.
I'm just
No,
hoping
it's
people are
depressing. It
thinking of
is.
this.
It
And
is depressing. It's
it
depressing. It
sucks.
is. But you know what? The more people that hear it, the more people that understand it. You know, you
That's the
speaking
hope.
it. You know, that's
That's the
that's
hope.
that's the hope you're giving to people. Yeah, exactly.
Because I have
Exactly.
nothing more than this. This is all I got. I got fucking words that come out of my mouth, hopefully wake people up. I mean, yeah, if it comes and hits me more than home, I will fucking kill people. Like, God forbid anything ever happen with family, whatever. I will kill people. But it's so it's far removed from me enough to where I'm not literally like blowing shit up. But it's
Hmm.
like it has to be close enough to people of importance to where this starts to fucking make a change is my because I don't see a fucking end in sight. I literally, and I still think I think he's a great president, but I'm a little worried about what the fuck is going on in the grand scheme of the world. Okay,
Yeah,
when
I
you
agree.
run on your third term as the no war president, and especially no more war president, and then the two wars that we were in have not been stopped, and we've started three more, I get a little concerned and nervous. Uh
Exactly.
because I could be fucking duped, dude. I've been duped before. Uh and this would be the biggest one. If Trump turns out to be the Berarder of fucking eh, like stupid like shit, because what's going on right now with Iran could be the precipice to World War III, and which is what everybody's biggest fear of President Trump coming into office, was. And
Was, yeah.
yeah, and to me, I didn't see that aspect of it. I saw him as like nipping shit in the bud and stopping all that stuff. But now when shit's starting to play out, oh God, could I have been duped. I'm going to hope he and whatever is a lot smarter than me, and this is played out way further than I know. But for me right now, it looks like he's a puppet for fucking Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever the fuck his name is. And
Yeah, I agree.
we're
I
getting
agree.
his, and I hate to say that, dude, because he's been
I
right
did,
on so many things, but fuck.
it does. It
I
sucks. It
won't sit by
sucks.
idly and not talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just because I voted for him, I'm not gonna say, what he's doing is right. I'm gonna question. Same way I question Biden. Same way I question, Obama at times. Like,
You have to. You have to.
yeah, yeah. More people have to. I think that's
Absolutely.
really the point is more people need to start questioning things. Like questioning authority back in the day used to be looked up to and celebrated. Now questioning authority is not. And we need to get back to that because and I'm not talking about lawlessness, like that's not questioning authority. Questioning like why is your foot on my neck? Why is
Hmm.
this that? Not yeah, not, being fucking naughty to be naughty, but
Yeah,
questioning
exactly.
real shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm glad to hear this. I'm glad to hear this.
Well, Bobby, we pulled off another Tuesday. Next week will be the normal schedule. Mr. Gracie will be back in our presence. Again, a lot of this was on me and my work schedule. And then, of course, couldn't line it up with our guest and Mr. Gracie. But we put on a show for you nonetheless because you are the gracious audience. And that's what the gracious posse does, ladies and gentlemen. It's been real. Bobby, we're going
Yeah,
black.
it's been real. Absolutely. Like and subscribe.
Boom. Shakalaka.